So for one, I already know the lighting is booty cheeks. I am so sorry about that. We're gonna try to fix that in post and maybe we won't even have these problems whatsoever. Number two, hi, welcome back to the Boudoir. I am your host, Ieasha Jones. Welcome to our fabulous podcast over here. We do a little bit of everything over here. We do a lot of like self-improvement, pep talks, girly conversations. Sometimes we like to take a look at things sociologically, and lately we've been diving into our cinephile bag, doing this Disney princess series. We've done Snow White, we've done Cinderella, we've done Sleeping Beauty last week, and now we are on to my favorite girl, one of my favorite girls, okay? The Little Mermaid, Princess Ariel of the sea. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, you should definitely stick around and subscribe, hit the like button so we can get this video out there and expand our Boudoir babe family. Before we get into it though, this is a very special episode because we are on episode 50. Episode 50 of the Boudoir. Like what? Where does the time go? I didn't even realize until I was just thinking, like right before I hit the record button, I was like, wait a minute, isn't this the 50th episode? So hi, happy 50th. Thank you so much for all of you guys that have been here from the beginning. Whether you've been here since the art of the pivot, the very first episode I uploaded when I had no idea what this thing was going to be about, but I was just kind of rolling with the punches. If you just joined me in the last episode where we talked about Sleeping Beauty, or if you fall somewhere in between in that range, either way, if you hit the subscribe button, if you watched even a second of my videos, thank you so much. Like honestly, this whole podcasting experience has really taught me so much about myself. And while I did go to school for like communications, I always wanted to be in like the TV entertainment space. Something about producing your own show, like just by yourself from start to finish, especially when you're pouring so much of your thoughts, your opinions, your vulnerabilities, your own personal stories. You're getting yourself out there in a way that's different from just like posting a short form video on TikTok or like even posting a beauty video on YouTube, which I do have a personal YouTube channel, shameless self-promotion. But you know, it's so different from all that stuff when you're actually sitting down and like hearing your own self-talk for like 30 minutes at a time. It's very surreal and it teaches you a lot about yourself. As much as this has been like a self-improvement space for you guys, it's also been a self-improvement journey for me as well. So I thank you so much for allowing me to just come on here, be a Yapatron 3000 and just get my thoughts out. So thank you so much for sticking around. Definitely we're gonna make it to the 100th episode, 200th episode and beyond, but for these first 50 I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it, and we're almost at 500 subscribers, so yay. So I brought this little drinkity drink. Okay, I'm not a drinker, so this is like a non-alcoholic bubbly rosé. So we're gonna have this to, you know, celebrate and cheers ourselves. I hope I don't need a bottle opener. Okay, no. All right. These are really good. I got them from Thrive Market. Here's to 50 more incredible episodes, starting with The Little Mermaid. Cheers. These are so good. All right, so let's get into The Little Mermaid. Girls, I got like 50, and when I say girls, I mean everybody, but like I have a hefty list of notes right here. I have like 6 pages of notes. So this might be a long one. No Once Upon a Time, we're just getting straight into the story, okay? So we start off, we're on a ship, and at first I thought they were supposed to be like Navy people, but it turns out they're like a part of this castle island kingdom thingy. We see, we see the OG fine shit Disney Prince Eric. Now I know everybody knows, like it's like between him, Prince Charming, Aladdin, like those are the top 3. Once I saw that man and then I heard the voice actor speak his first lines, I was like, I remember why I loved this movie as a child. Like I really do. It was just giving me all of the island girl vibes. You know, the eye candy was candying and Ariel was Arieling. So Prince Eric is on the ship, they're catching fish, he has his doggy Max with them, and they're all like out being nautical and stuff. One of the fish ends up escaping and he's like, yes, and he floats back into the ocean. And then we get the intro to the Little Mermaid. We see all of the mermaid in their little kingdom underwater, just swimming around and being happy. And everybody is going to this castle, which ends up being King Triton's castle. He has all of these daughters. They're all so beautiful. And so everybody is on their way to King Triton's castle because they're going to be putting on a performance directed by none other than Sebastian the Crab. They gave him this like whole Sebastian, the crustaceous sensation. Like, it was very funny. Sebastian, amazing. Like, let's just talk about the side characters for a second. Flounder, Scuttle, Sebastian. What incredible side characters. Like, this is when we're starting to get into like the more quirky, wisecracking type Disney characters, like Timon and Pumbaa type things. Like, we're starting to get into that like 90s Disney type of feel, and you can definitely see it with this movie. Like, compared to the other princesses, they had a more mature feel. I feel like the ones pre-80s, they felt very mature, whereas Little Mermaid feels like, you know, young and fresh. Right, so everybody's at this concert, you know, the girls are singing, the girls have pipes, and you know, it's time to debut the newest, youngest princess who has now joined the singing group, but the spot's empty. Ain't nobody there because Ariel's too busy floating on the surface, seeing what's going on, checking out these sinking ships, she's collecting things that fall into the ocean. Like, she does not have time for this silly little concert, much to Sebastian's dismay, because he's like, this is my chance to make it into the big time, and she's just missing her rehearsals. What's going on here? She's not showing up to practice. She's not giving it her all. She's slacking and making the other sisters pick up her dead weight. It's just not working. He's not feeling it. So whatever. Back at the little sinking ship, Ariel and Flounder are exploring because they're like, oh my god, this little ship that's just abandoned, let's see if there's like cool little treasures we can find. So they're looking, they're searching. Flounder's like, I don't know, I don't think we're supposed to be here. We might get in trouble, so we should probably go. And then Ariel's like, no girl, we're fine. Like, let's just see what's out here. She ends up finding a fork in this sunken ship, and she's so excited. She's like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It's coming home with me. Let's go. But before they can go, there's a big scary shark that is trying to eat them, and this scene was genuinely scary. Like, you know how Disney always has to have that one scene that's actually terrifying? In Snow White, it was the woods. In Cinderella, it was the sisters whipping up the dress. And now this shark attack was actually very frightening. Like, it could actually give Jaws a run for its money. You know, they're going back and forth, but finally they make it out in the nick of time. Everybody's safe. They swim up to the surface and they meet their friend Scuttle, the seagull. And they're like, hey, we found this thing. What is it? You know, the seagull's very much like another wisecracking type of character. I really enjoyed him too. He's like, oh yeah, that's a dinglehopper. You know, you're supposed to use that to brush your hair and it makes it all beautiful. She's like, wow, I got a dinglehopper. Wow. In the midst of all this excitement, she's like, wait, I forgot about the concert. My father is going to have my head. We got to go. Let's try to fix this situation right now. So then he's like, bye, see y'all later. They're on their way back to Triton's castle, but in the midst of this, we see some eels. I'm gonna call them eels. I don't know if that's what they actually are, but that's what they look like. So we see some eels kind of like spying on Ariel and Flounder, seeing what's going on. And then we see Miss Ursula, the sea witch, who is just so evil, but just so darn fabulous. And I really feel like, you know, as I was watching this movie, I was like, I think Ursula might be my favorite villain so far. Like, she just has everything. She's so fabulous. She's so like flamboyant, avant-garde. I really was rocking with Ursula, and I think she might be the best one so far. And Maleficent, you know, they're kind of neck and neck. So as she's looking at Ariel, she's like, yes, go on, find your father. You know, I remember those days when I was a singer and I would be at the castle, but unfortunately I got cursed and now I'm here. So she's trying to find ways to get this curse lifted because she's tired of being banished to this castle all by herself. Like, she wants to get back out there and be a star. So she's like, I need to find a way to get Ariel's voice and put a curse on her because I don't think she deserves that voice. Like, she's not even showing up to practice. Like, I would be better off having it. So then back at the castle, Ariel's like, Dad, I'm sorry, I missed it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, and then Sebastian's like, no, I don't want to hear it. You ruined my hopes and dreams. I could have been a star. This was the moment. I could have been discovered tonight, but you didn't show. You were supposed to be the big grand finale and you didn't show. This is all your fault. And then Flounder's trying to come help and save and like rectify the situation, but he speaks too much. He's like, we went to the surface. And then she's like, you wasn't supposed to say all that. You should have let me do the talking, Flounder. Then she gets found out by her dad that she's going to the surface even after he told her time and time to stop going up there because you don't know what's up there. Like, you don't know these people. You know the ocean. I rule over the ocean and that's where I could watch over you. You can't be up there. It's dangerous. So then he's like, you know what? You can never go to the surface again. And to make sure you don't do that, I'm gonna make sure Sebastian watches over you. And he's like, I didn't sign up to be a babysitter, but I don't want to make you angry because you're very strong and I'm very small, so yes, I'll do it. So then Sebastian's like, oh, fine, now I have to watch this child. I just wanted to be a famous composer and now I have to be on babysitting duty, fine. So then he's following behind Ariel and Flounder and he's like, wait, where are they going? Like, where are they entering? And he sees them go into this like huge underwater cave and he's like, oh, I gotta see what this is. But he's like hiding at the same time. So then Ariel and Flounder are just like roaming around and Ariel's like, you know what, why can't my dad just see what I see? Like, why does he have to think everything is so evil and scary? Like, I just want to go up to the surface because I want to see if there's like more to life than what I've been given. Like, this is great and all, but I want to see what else is out there, you know? She's like, it can't be so bad if I have all of this cool stuff. Like, look at this dingleberry or whatever she called it. Humans can't be bad. And then we get into the iconic, look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? I really want to sing the rest of the song, but I won't do that to you guys. Of course, we get the iconic part of your world performance and she's just looking at all of her stuff. She's like, look at this treasure trove, like all of this cool stuff. I want to see what else is out there. Like, I want to use legs. I want to dance. I want to, you know, walk down the street. I want to see it all. Like, I just want all the mundane aspects of being human because it's more exciting than being down here. So then after the song, Sebastian's like, what is all this stuff? Like, where did you get all of this? I don't even, like, I've never seen this in my life. And she's like, it's my collection. Like, I just find stuff that floats down to the bottom of the ocean and I just collect it if it looks cute or if it looks interesting. And then Sebastian's like, are you crazy? You're gonna get in trouble by your father. I'm gonna get in trouble with your father and we can't have that. You got to stop now. Like, this human nonsense ends today. And he's like, if you don't stop, I'm gonna tell your father. And they're like, please, 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 please don't tell him. Like, come on, just be cool. Don't say anything. And he's like, fine. Like, you know what? I don't get paid enough for this job, but whatever. I'll just stay quiet, I guess. So then Ariel floats back up to the top after she was just told not to. But you know what? This girl she just does whatever she wants, okay? Let's talk about Ariel for a second. Okay, so first of all, her character design is so stinking cute. She has the biggest eyes I've ever seen, and she's just really adorable. Of course, that iconic red hair with that bang, like the bang was eating. It really was. The purple top, so I tried to do a little bit of an Ariel look today, if you haven't noticed. She has the purple top, she has the green fins. Like, she's just a really cute character design, I have to say. She's so like animated and childlike. In this movie, she is 16 years old, so it does make sense that she's childlike, but I feel like it was more amped up in this movie, which I think gives it a different edge from the other Disney princess movies, like I was saying. Like, they felt more, like even Aurora, she was also 16, but I feel like her whimsy was a different type of whimsy from Ariel's. Like, theirs felt more mature, but hers does feel truly like childlike. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, there's a difference, which I kind of think is cool. So Ariel floats to the surface and she sees this huge ship and she's like, oh my god, what is this? And she sees all these men dancing and having fun. She sees this dog, which she doesn't know what a dog is, but she's like, wow, I've never seen one of these before. And she's like seeing everybody have fun and dance and she's just like admiring it with her huge eyes that were so cute. And she's like kind of just hanging out, hiding. But then Max smells her because he's like, she's low-key a fish. So Max smells her and he's like, wait, what's this? And he goes up to her and he sniffs her and she's like, oh, I'm about to get in trouble. But then she's like, oh no, he just wants a kiss. So he licks her face. It was very cute. And then Prince Eric's like, Max, what are you doing? Like, come back here, boy. And he's like, you know, petting the dog and stuff. And she's just watching with this look of like, ah, this is what I was here for. This is what the surface is like. Okay, I see. I got to get up here. And can you blame her? Do you see the material we're working with? Like, you can't blame this lady. Look at Prince Eric, okay? You would do it too for a check. So yeah, she's mesmerized. She's watching from afar. She's literally the definition of like yearning right now. She's just looking like, wow, this is the one, this is it. So then she sees this like ceremony happening and it turns out that the prince is being presented this statue. And the moment's all hype and then we see the unveiling of the statue and Eric's like, wow, great. Yeah, thank you so much. I totally needed this statue. And the guy who presented the statue to him, I don't know if this was his like servant. I don't know if he was his dad or his like handler. I don't know what he was, but we're gonna call him his assistant. I really don't know what this guy's name is. I'm so sorry. So his assistant was like, I was kind of wanting it to be a wedding gift. Like, I was hoping by now you might find the one out here on the ocean. He's trying to like poke, like, you know, put the ball in his court. And then Eric's like, listen, dude, we've already gone through this. When I find her, I'll know, okay? When I find the one, I'm not gonna force it. It doesn't have to be, you know, on anybody's timeline. I will let you know when I find the one. He's like, all right. Then Ariel, you know, because she's still hearing, she's like, wait, he doesn't have a one? Oh, okay. So You're saying there's a chance. Gotcha. Then this big lightning storm comes and everybody's freaking out because it's literally like breaking the ship. The waves are going crazy. Everybody's like trying to get the ship nice and protected before the storm can really start, but it's too late. The lightning starts cracking everything. The ship is breaking. They're all sinking, like people are gonna drown. And eventually the boat just disintegrates and they all end up in the water, but poor Max is still on the boat. And the boat has now caught on fire. And Eric's like, I cannot let this dog die. So he springs right into action. Very great scene. Okay, just another reason why we love Prince Eric. It finally gets him off, but Eric ends up falling into the ocean and he almost drowns, but because Ariel's a mermaid, she has these amazing swimming abilities, and so she saves him. She puts him back onto the shore and like bringing him back to consciousness, and she's still singing Part of Your World, and there's this like beautiful shot of her in the sun with Eric looking up at her, and she just looks so princessy. I like that moment. So Eric hears her beautiful singing voice and he's like, I just found the one right here, right now. It's happening. This is the moment. But of course, Ariel can't stay on the surface, so she has to swim away, and she's like, you know what? I don't know how, I don't know when, but we're gonna be together. Trust me on that. Can't knock a girl who knows exactly what she wants and goes for it, So then again, Ursula is spying on her with those evil eels, and she's like, oh, so she fell in love with a human. Oh, this is gonna be light work. This is gonna be a clean sweep. Like, this is literally the easiest way for me to get in and get, this curse lifted. So she devises this plan and she's like, I'm going to get this lovesick girl and get her voice. Back at the castle, Ariel, she's all happy, she's all whimsical. She met someone, you know that feeling when you get a new crush and you're kind of just like, everything's all happy and dandy. So she's singing, the girl who never shows up to practice, the girl who never can perform on time is finally singing. Would you look at that? And her sisters are like, I know what that means. And then her dad, hashtag girl dad, by the way. King Triton was like the OG girl dad. So we just gotta say that right now. But he's like, what's going on? Why is she acting all like jolly? And then of course the daughters have to clue him in and they're like, Dad, obviously she's in love. Like, come on. So then Ariel's back with Sebastian and Flounder and she's like, I really, really, really want to see him again tonight. Like, guys, please help me. Like, what am I gonna do? I need to find that man, that mysterious prince man. What am I gonna do? And Sebastian's like, no, I am putting my claw down right now. You're not going because you already almost got yourself hurt in that storm. You can't keep doing this, okay? Your father will kill me. So then in an effort to convince her, he busts out the best thing he knows how to do, which is sing and dance. And he performs Under the Sea. Under the sea. Very fun, very great song. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. He's telling her all these great things. Like, why do you need to go to the surface? There's so many great things right here in the ocean. Like, you just have to, if you look around, you'll see there's so much beauty already in the ocean. But during this amazing musical number, Ariel and Flounder snuck away. They were not trying to stick around for that performance. They had to go because they had better things to do, more important things to do. So they're off doing that. King Triton calls Sebastian and he's like, oh snap, he definitely knows. He definitely knows that she fell in love with a human. It's over. I'm going to turn into a lobster meal, a seafood boil, if you will. It's over for me. So then he goes, he's like, yes, sir, you called? Triton's all cool and collected because he just thinks his daughter like fell in love with somebody under the ocean. So he's like, wow, have you noticed anything different about her lately? Like, she's been singing a lot more. She seems a lot more jolly. And then Sebastian's like, I didn't know anything, no. And then Triton's like, you sure you haven't noticed anything? And then Sebastian's like, fine, okay, I tried to tell her not to fall in love with a human, but then she did it anyway. And then he's like, a human? And I have to say, one of my favorite tropes that I like in these like Disney princess movies is, again, I don't know if this is considered miscommunication, but it's like the dad thinks one thing and he's like all happy, and then the whoever is like trying to tell him, or like trying not to tell him some news, but it's like a miscommunication and then the dad gets angry. I don't know what you call that, but I really like that trope. It's really funny. So then back at the little treasure trove, Flounder surprises Ariel with the statue of Eric that was on the boat. And she's like, oh my god, that was so nice of you to keep that. Like, thank you. Now I'll have, something to remember him by. And they're all hee hee ha ha laughing, but then she turns around and guess who's right there? It's Triton and Sebastian. And you can tell he was like, dang, I didn't mean to snitch, but I low-key snitched on you, my bad. So Triton's furious. He's like, you know what? I've told you time and time again to stop going to the surface. You keep going to the surface. I don't know what to do with you. Like, you just won't listen. And then Ariel's like, but daddy, I love him. You can't keep me from him. Like, that's my man. I got some fine shit on the surface waiting for me and you're trying to ruin that. Stop. You can't do this to me. The Triton doesn't care. care. He doesn't care how fine he is. He ruins her possessions. He ruins the treasure trove. And he's like, you know what? It's done. You left me no choice, but I'm gonna destroy all of this stuff. And that was very sad, you know? It didn't have to go that far, man. Like, you could have just grounded her. But I get it, because grounding doesn't really work. He tried that before, and he's, you know, she still kept rebelling, but he didn't have to destroy the stuff. He didn't have to destroy the dingleberries and the zuzuzazas. Like, she worked really hard on that collection, but that's what happened. And then, you know, she's upset, she's sad. She tells Sebastian to get out because this is all his fault. And then Flounder just leaves too because he's like, dang, like, it's over. It's not happening. So, you know, in this moment of distress, of course, the eels are like, this is the perfect opportunity to try to, you know, manipulate her and get her to come to the dark side. Very insidious behavior. So then the eels are like, you know what? I understand you just got into it with your dad, and that's very understandable. They're like, there is a witch who can help you with your little problem if you want to be human. I mean, it's up to you. You don't have to do it, but we're gonna say it in a way that makes you really want to do it though, because that's what manipulation is. And so, you know, they prey on her while she's in this low vibrational state. At first she's like, no, I can't do this. Like, you're a witch. I can't be, you know, my dad's the king. I can't, that's bad. That's bad for business. But then she's like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I want to just go to the ocean. I mean, I want to just go to the surface already. So let's just do this. So she ends up leaving with them, and then she has this sickening face card while she's leaving. She's like, she's just swimming away with her chin up. She doesn't want to see Sebastian. She doesn't want to see anybody. She's like, I'm doing this. I don't care what none of y'all say. I'm tired of listening to you. I'm out. Sebastian is, of course, trying to stop her. Like, you can't leave with her. That's the sea witch. She's evil. She's not gonna help you. And then Ariel's like, why don't you ask my father? Or no, what did she say? She was like, why don't you tell my father, since that's all you're good at? Like, with a stank attitude. I was like, ooh, she told you. I would feel bad if someone said that to me, but it's true. You were a snitch, Sebas. You were a snitch. So that's how the cookie crumbles. So then she swims away with the evil eels. And of course, Flounder and Sebastian follow because we're like, we can't just let this girl, you know, by herself. So the eels lead her into Ursula's evil lair. And Ursula's like, wow, I've been waiting for you. It's so nice to see you, you know? I heard about your little problem with your fine shit or whatever. I know you're trying to get to the surface and be a human. You've come to the right place. I'm here to propose an offer to you. And Ariel's like, what? What's the offer? She's a little skeptical though, but she's like, what's the offer? Ursula gives her 3 days to fall in love with the prince. She's gonna turn her into a human. She's gonna give her the legs and everything, and she has 3 days to fall in love. And not just fall in love, they must kiss, and it must be true love's first kiss. So not just any old kiss, you know, it has to be real with passion behind it. And it must happen on the 3rd day before sunset. That's the stipulation. If they do it and they fall in love and they kiss and everything, then, you know, she's good to go. She can stay like that forever. Nothing happens. But if not, she must stay prisoner in Ursula's lair. You know, want. And then Ariel's like, okay, cool, that's fine. But then Ursula's like, wait. I'm gonna need some payment though. Give me that voice. And Ariel's like, wait, huh? How am I gonna talk though? We're supposed to fall in love. How am I supposed to get him to fall in love if I can't talk? And she's like, I don't know. I don't care. Sign the dotted line now. And so she does. And she just gave up her voice just like that, girl. Like, I don't know. I mean, let's talk about this. Would you give up your voice for some fine shit? Let's just be fictional though. Like, don't use your real world logic. Like, pretend you're a mermaid. Pretend we're in Disneyland, okay? Would you do that? No. I would say no, but you know what? She did it, and that's where we're at. That's what the storyline led us to, and here we are. So she did it. She has no more beautiful singing voice. It now belongs to Ursula and this like little locket thingy. So now she can't talk, but she does have legs now, okay? She has legs. She's in the ocean, and now she's like trying to stand up because like she's never walked before. So she's like, how am I supposed to do this? She's kind of wobbly, but she gets up. She has to find a new outfit though because she has nothing to wear. Her fins disappeared. So Scuttle's like, you know what? I'm gonna hook you up real quick. You know, now that you're a human, it's nice to see you on this side of things, but you're gonna need something to wear. So he puts together a little outfit, not a very cute outfit, but it's something out of like the discarded scraps of fabric you found, and he makes her a little dress. And I meant to say, during her transformation scene from mermaid to human, it looked very Sailor Moon-esque, which makes sense because I think Sailor Moon also came out in the 80s too, so it has that like 80s power-up type of vibe to it. I liked it. And I liked Ursula's little song too, the body language thing. I don't know how she said it, but I really liked it. So Ariel sees Eric just chilling on the land. 3 days starts now, clock is ticking. I gotta get him to fall in love with me. And then Sebastian's like, no. Your father's gonna be so mad. I'm gonna tell him immediately what's going on so that he can figure out a way to break this curse. And then she's like, please, but with pleading eyes because she can't talk. So she's like, please don't tell, please don't tell, please don't tell. And he's like, fine, I can't resist. You know, we're already in trouble. Let's just stay here, whatever. And he's like, you know what? She's happy here anyway. She's miserable when she's at home. Just let her try it at least, you know? So Max finds Ariel again, and Eric eventually sees her, and then they lock eyes for the first time. They're meeting human to human, you know? Eric's like, you look very familiar, but I can't put a finger on it. He can't connect the voice to the face because the voice is not there. So she pretends that she's just like disoriented and like, oh my god, I just washed up onto the ocean. Just to like buy some time. So then Eric takes her into his castle. She has a bath. She gets a fresh change of clothes. The castle is very nice, might I say. You know, it's a very nice castle. He has all of these like servants helping him. So then Sebastian's trying to find her. Then he gets caught in the kitchen with this chef that's like so determined to get that one little piece of lobster into the boiling water, and he has to fight for his life. Okay, this poor man is he a lobster or a crab? I actually don't know. I think he's a crab. So he's fighting for his life, but he finally makes it out of the kitchen. Bravo. So now they're at the dinner table and they're ready to eat, but then Ariel sees a fork and she's like, I know what this is. And she picks it up and she starts brushing her hair with the fork. And as she's doing it, she's like, wait, these people are giving me very strange looks. Maybe I should stop this right now. She's masking, essentially. She has to mask the fact that she is not a real life human being. But she hangs in there, no voice at all. She still manages to find a way to make it through that dinner. They're making romantic eye contact with one another. It's going well. It's all going well. And so in the morning, they decide to go for a tour of the castle and of the little village area. This is when we get like the cute little like blue outfit with the blue bow. I love this look. Something about the princesses in their like non-princess outfits are so cute. Like Cinderella with the scrubs, Aurora with her berry picking outfit, and now Ariel with her little like errand run outfit. I don't know, it looked very cute. They're having a dance in the town square. You know, they're looking all over. Ariel is on this carriage ride and she's looking at the horse's hooves because she's never seen them before, and she's like, whoa, how are we moving? Like, we're not swimming, we're not walking, we're not doing any of that, but we're still moving. This is cool. And she just looks very whimsical, very like, you know, just excited, seeing everything for the first time. And that is the charm that makes Eric fall for her, because he's like, wow, she's just so like, all of the little things mean so much to her. It's so nice to see. What's something so typical and usual for me is like something so incredible and amazing to her. And it like makes him see things through her eyes, which is very nice to see. And then they go on a boat ride in the river, and like this is the moment, okay? It's very cutesy, it's very romantic. The lights are dim, the sun is almost setting. The moment's just not there, you know? So then Sebastian's like, ugh, leave it to me, you know, the musical genius, to have to kind of make the mood a little nicer. So I'll do it, you know, I'll do a little bit of charity work. Scuttle the Seagull tries, but the voice just wasn't giving. So Sebastian takes it upon himself. Then we get Kiss the Girl. I was also grooving to this. Very wonderful song. This movie has incredible iconic songs. Who was on the soundtrack? Who was composing these songs? So they were just about to kiss, and right before they get to the moment, Ursula's eels flip them into the water. Ruins that beautiful moment, ruins that beautiful dress, you know, just ruin the moment. Come on, man. Ursula's sweating a little bit because she's like, wait a minute, she's actually falling in love. They're actually both falling in love with each other. They were so close, like, I need to hurry up. So then the next morning, the birds are like, oh my god, Ariel, congratulations. I just heard that the prince is, you know, getting married, and it's obviously gonna be you because like you guys have been spending all this time together. Congrats, girl. We see you. We want to be on the guest list. And then Ariel's a little confused, but then she's also like, wait, he's proposing? And she thinks that it must be me. So like, let me get up, let me get ready, let me go so I can get proposed to. But then before she can go downstairs, she sees this random woman and she's like, that's not me. Who is this? How did y'all just meet and fall in love instantly? But you know why they just fell in love instantly after first meeting? Because she had Ariel's voice. Now this moment was a little shady of Eric, because like you literally have a woman in your house and then you just met this lady and it just all of a sudden everything's okay. But again, we're doing Disney logic. This is not real life logic, but those were questions I did have answers to. I love how I just put the microphone down and I just stopped. Here we are, guys. It still doesn't even work anyway, so there's really no point of me holding it, but branding, people, branding. Okay, so Ariel's like, who is this chick? I'm sad, I'm upset. She runs back to the room crying, and then Ursula sees, disguised as the woman, she's like, Yeah, I did that. So Ariel's like, what am I gonna do? Like, this wedding is so soon. Like, now I'm stuck as a human and I have no dad and I have no sisters and I can't talk. Like, how am I supposed to survive? Like, if they really do get married, what am I going to do? So then Flounder and Scuttle and everybody, they all recruit the help of all of the other sea animals and the birds because they're like, we gotta find a way to ruin this wedding because it cannot take place. We're cutting it way too close. So, you know, Ursula disguised as this woman. She looks so beautiful, you know, beautiful wedding decorations on this boat. They have this beautiful layered cake. Everything just looks so magical. The music is right. But then the birds start messing things up. The seals get on the boat. Everybody's like just causing chaos, trying to derail this thing, and it works. It's successful. In the midst of this, the voice necklace ends up breaking, and so the voice goes back to Ariel and she's finally able to talk. So now with her face and her voice, she's finally able to talk to Eric, and Eric is like, wait a minute, it's been you the whole time. Oh my gosh, what a coinkydink. So, you know, they reunite, everybody's happy. He moved on very fast, you know, but it was way too late because the sun had already set and now Ariel is stuck like this. Ursula won. So Ursula drags Ariel back into the ocean and she's like, no, she can't win, like she can't get away with this. But Triton ends up sacrificing himself and he's like, you know what, for the sake of my daughter, here's the staff, you can have it and you can rule over the sea. Now Ursula's the ruler, you know, she's having this evil moment. Everybody's like, no, she can't be the ruler. But Prince Eric came through. He sure did, okay? He takes that ship, there's like a pointy broken end of the stick. He takes that thing and he rams it straight into her, effectively slaying Ursula, ending her for good, and she's done. She's out of here. Triton's staff goes back to him. It's back in his hand. He's the ruler again. All is well. So then Triton sees Ariel and Eric and just sees how in love they are, and he's like, you know what, if you're truly happy here and this truly is what you want, I see that this man, you know, did all of this to save you, and I can see that this is the real thing. You have my blessing. You can go ahead and stay. And so she's like, really? Thanks, Dad. I'm happy you can finally see things my way. And everything's all good. They get married and they all lived happily ever after. And that was The Little Mermaid. What a feel-good, fun, musical adventure. We laughed, we cried, we had fun. First of all, the whole idea of like mermaids is so cool in and of itself. That's one of the reasons why I loved Ariel growing up. It was just such a fun story. You know, I like the whole vibe switch up from like the older Disney princesses to the new school Disney princesses. Like, I feel like for her to set off the new precedent of how the princesses would be, I feel like it was a really great start. I don't know, like, it still feels fresh, it still feels funny, but it still does have that like 90s nostalgia feel to it. The songs are incredible in this movie. Like, I think this one definitely has one of the best soundtracks out of all of the movies. As for lessons we can take away, I think the first lesson that we can all learn is that nobody knows your vision the way you know your vision. When you are telling people about things, you know, we talk about this all the time on the Boudoir, like keeping your dreams and stuff sacred, because sometimes when you tell somebody you have this whole vision of what you want and you can see it so clearly in your head, then the second you tell somebody else, they're not going to see it the way you see it. And so you start picking up on that like quote unquote negative energy that they're giving you. You start second guessing the things that you want, which is why it's so important to stay strong-willed and to stay focusing on your dreams, because nobody can take those away from you and nobody's ever going to see the vision the way you do. I also do think it's a story about dreaming bigger than your parameters. Like, of course the world is so big, and you know, there's obviously parallels from like the mermaid world to us as humans. Like, we always think there's something bigger outside of ourselves. One thing I did like about the Under the Sea song is that that message was kind of true. Like, sometimes you do see things outside of yourself and you forget to realize like how much beauty is actually around you. You know, the everyday things that you take for granted, sometimes you don't realize how beautiful they are. Like, you know, as us viewers watching it, we're seeing her, we're seeing this like beautiful underwater castle. She has all of these sisters, this like powerful dad. You'd think, sure, she has everything, right? But sometimes it's just not enough. Like, having everything, having it all is not giving you like the scratch that you need. Like, it's just not being satisfied. And so that's what she did. She wanted to see the outside world. She ended up meeting somebody, but still it was more about her wanting to experience something new. And you're allowed to do that. Like, she kind of does give me funny, like, oh, I hate saying this, but like manic pixie dream girl. I don't think, like, I don't know. I don't feel right describing her like that, but she does kind of have that like whimsical vibe of like floaty. I don't know what to call it without saying manic pixie dream girl, but I don't want to say manic pixie dream girl because like, I know there's a better way to say it, but you guys know what I mean, right? Like she was more wide-eyed. She was more like curious about the world. I feel like we got a healthy amount of both of them. Like some of the older movies, we only saw a little bit of the prince and a lot of the princess. Some movies we barely saw the princess and we saw more of the prince, but I feel like this was a movie that it was like a very nice, healthy balance of seeing the both of them. Like it didn't feel like it took anything away from Ariel's story. Like Ariel very much feels like the main character in this. None of the side characters overpower her either. And I think that this story was very well done. Were they moving very fast? Yes. Like the whole love at first sight thing. Like they barely saw each other for like 2 seconds and they fell in love. But hey, again, this is the Disney world. Things can happen like that. That's very normal for Disney. So I think the story was well done. I think that in terms of like, cause you know, of course this whole series started with me trying to see if feminists were being too unfair with their critiques of Disney princesses and calling them pick-me's and whatnot. I will say Ariel was probably the most boy crazy out of all of the princesses. And again, I still use that very loosely. Like I still don't think that the whole story was about her trying to get with this man. Well, somewhat. It was somewhat that, but I don't think it was done in a way that was like, ugh, or like I wouldn't want my daughter watching this. Like I don't get that at all. I think it's more about her following her heart and following what she wants to do more than it being about the love story. But the love story is definitely a central part of this movie, let's be real. But again, it's not anything that I would like not want my children to see. Like I don't think it's a bad example. I think it's very much a fictional story where the two characters end up falling in love, but ultimately it's about Ariel following her heart and daring to dream bigger than the parameters she was given. So what did you guys think of The Little Mermaid? Let me know in the comments down below. Was she one of your favorites growing up? Because she was definitely one of my favorite princesses, and she still is. It's like her and Cinderella for now are the top 2 girly girls for me. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and definitely check out my podcast on streaming if you want to just have the audio version for later to listen to. And yes, we're gonna keep trucking along on this Disney princess journey. I think the next movie is Beauty and the Beast. This is when we start getting like in our real Disney princess era, like the 90s. This is like the meat and potatoes of it all. So we're gonna keep steamrolling ahead in this series. I'm pretty sure it's Beauty and the Beast next. So we'll see all about Princess Belle next week. And yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!